The gentleman from Oregon reserves. The gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I yield 4 minutes to the gentlelady from Puerto Rico, Ms. González-Colón.
The gentlewoman from Puerto Rico is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Ranking Member Graves. Today I rise in support of H.R. 5641, the Speed Recovery Act, which is a bipartisan legislation introduced by our Ranking Member Graves, and with the support of Chairman DeFazio and the Ranking Members, Chair and Ranking Members. These bills aims towards updating disaster recovery procedures, and tell me, I can talk about that at length. During Puerto Rico's recovery from Hurricane Maria, many municipalities on the island faced the situation where, because of the rising cost of materials and labor, relatively simple projects such as a repair to a street or a minor building exceed the current threshold for what is defined as a small project. That threshold today is around $123,000, which really only covers some minor work. This means that a lot of the work for which municipalities may have had the resources to cover their non-federal share to start and finish promptly instead had to go through the full procedural chain for major projects to qualify for FEMA reimbursement. Those processes themselves have taken longer than expected. It took almost 4 years in the case of Puerto Rico after the 2017 hurricanes for those municipalities, FEMA, and the Puerto Rico Recovery Office to be able to agree just on the measures to make the processes faster. That is years in which the people wondered when they were going to see the promised reconstruction. When a community does not see at least small things being taken care of, that weakens our communities and promotes displacement. Increasing the threshold to $1 million, including adjustments for inflation, would allow more recovery projects to proceed under simplified procedures, reduce administrative burdens, and provide more certainty for all. And this is a major step, and that's the reason I'm supporting this bill. Most disaster claims are on a small local scale where there's no need to navigate the same procedures over larger, more complex projects and tie up the resources of FEMA and other agencies just looking at those papers. Although FEMA and other agencies has been open to using the administrative flexibility the law provides, in many real-world incidents, that is not enough. These updates make the Stafford Act language match the realities of construction costs in our states, territories, and communities, which FEMA and the local authorities can then use in order to facilitate approval of small projects. And believe me, this is the biggest burden we do have in the case of Puerto Rico. 4 years after hurricanes, and we're still dealing with this. Many head of agencies, cabinet members, administrative positions from FEMA and the rest of the federal agencies still travel to the island to see how they can do this faster. And it's not just red tape. It's just amending this kind of language that will provide those projects to be speed up. I support this common sense bipartisan legislation and urge all members to support it. Thank you, and thank you, Ranking Member, for doing this. I yield back.